What's going on, guys? Today I have another awesome product review for you guys. This one again sent out by Vantrue is their new on-dash N2 dash camera. So let's not waste any time and see what the N2 has to offer. Alright, so now let's go ahead and unbox the N2. Now, just like all the other Vantrue products, comes in a very nice presentation. Although, like some of the other Vantrue products, it does not have a side profile, but as you guys can see right there, there's the back of the camera, what it looks like. Again, this is a dual dash camera, so it's going to have two cameras, but let's go ahead and start to unbox it. Wrapped the same as all the other cameras. Alright, so there we go. Let's take the top off. This does not have a warning like some of the other products, or had something there written on the side, but there we go. Thank you for your purchase. Just like always, the user manual actually has a very nice user manual this time. Actually a pretty decent size. That's different. I got your warranty card, so we'll pull off that to the side, and here's the N2 wrapped up like all the other ones. Some nice foam. And so you've got your 12 volt for the car, got your suction cup mount, and as well as the micro USB. So let's go ahead and look at the N2 itself. Alright, now here's the camera. Very different design from the other Vantrue products, but I kind of like it. So on the front, we got the Vantrue 1080p Full HD. The back, we got the 1.5 inch screen with looks like a parking meter button or a menu button and the OK button, as well as the rear camera. On the bottom, it looks like we got a power button, some selection buttons, and a menu button, I believe. See, on the left side, we got the micro USB as well as an AV out. And it looks like under here is where you put your micro USB, or not, excuse me, your micro SD card, as well as looks like there may be a reset button under there. On the right side, we got the N2 logo. So yeah, and I guess on the top, we got the mount for the suction cup, which also supplies the power. As you guys can see, these prongs there. You will plug the 12 volt end into the mount itself, like all the other Vantrue products, which I love. These mounts are great. They really are probably one of the best mounts on the market. They stick like crazy, and they are just very good design. So for comparison purposes, I have the N1 on the right and the N2 on the left. Now as you guys can see, the N1 is a very small camera with a single lens on the front. Same suction cup mount style and everything like that. Whereas the N2 is the 1080p front lens as well as the 720p rear facing camera. So this is a dual dash camera, as it says. Again, features the same suction cup mount as all the other Vantrue products, and as well as a very long 12 volt cable, which is very nice and handy. So let's go ahead and compare the N2 to the N1 as well as the R2 and see how it performs. So starting with the N2 here, we can see that the sky seems to be slightly overexposed, as well as the picture seems to have a lack of clarity and the saturation is not as good. Now switching over to the R2, we can see that the sky is still fairly bright, but the picture has a much more clearer picture and is more saturated. So coming back to the N2, again you can see the sky is very bright and the overall smoothness of the video is just not as crisp as the R2. The R2 does a better job of managing the bright sky, as well as has a much smoother flowing video in my eyes, and the saturation is just much better. Even though it may be slightly oversaturated, it is still much better than the undersaturated N2. One thing to note in the N2, if you guys take a look at the stoplights, is the lights themselves seem to have a slight flicker in them, whereas neither of the other two cameras had this.
Now, I shouldn't be bashing the N2 too much. As you guys can see from this video, it does provide a decent dash cam footage, and all the signs and plates seem to still be visible. It's just that the camera changes its exposure too much and too quickly, especially at higher speeds, to where as you pass like a certain tree or an object, it will overexpose for a very small period of time, and then it will correct itself. It just does this too much throughout the video, whereas the other cameras don't seem to have this problem. Switching over to some N1 footage now, you guys can see if you take a look at the stoplight, there is no flicker in the light itself. The saturation in the video is very good, very realistic, even though not as eye-pleasing as the R2. It does a very good job of making the colors realistic. And overall, the smoothness of the video is very good and better than the N2 in my eyes. Whereas the N2 has some seemingly loss of frame rate, this video is very smooth and very crisp. Now here's a quick look at the N2's rear-facing camera. Overall, the quality isn't great, but usable nonetheless. One thing to note about the N2's rear-facing camera is you can rotate the camera up or down 45 degrees in either direction to make it more usable for your car. So let's go ahead and take a look at some N2 night footage now. As you guys can see, the camera seems to do a pretty good job of using all the available light to create a usable image. Off to the right, you guys can see a building with its lights on, as well as the signs out in front. All those are very well lit for being pitch black at night. Farther up the road, you guys can see a car's taillights, and with my headlights, you guys can see the ground very well. The oncoming car's headlights do not seem to affect the exposure nearly at all, so that's a good thing. And overall, the camera seems to do a very good job at night. Switching over to the R2 now, you guys can see that the R2 does a very good job at night as well. The road in front of my car is very well lit, as well as the overall quality and smoothness of the video seems to be a tad bit better as well. The taillights of the car in front of me are still easily visible as well, and the sign off to the left seems to be very readable as well. Overall, both cameras do a very good job at night.
So overall, the N2 seems to be a very decent dash camera. Even though I think that the quality has decreased over time from the R2 and the N1, this is still a very good camera and will get the job done very nicely. So since the N2 is a dual dash camera, you have the nice feature of the rear camera keeping an eye on passengers in the car or incidents that may happen on the road, as well as this is a great tool for Uber drivers or taxi drivers that carry people around in their car, and it allows them to have this sense of security while carrying people around in their car. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. I would really appreciate it. Also, go check out the video of the R2 I did and comparing it to the GoPro Hero 3 Plus Black Edition. And lastly, a huge thanks to Vantrue for sending that N2 out to review for you guys. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.